When it comes to the new Seiko speed timer, this is what YouTube got wrong. First, I don't get how anyone sees Daytona in this watch. Second, the Panda dial isn't the version to get. And third, this solar quartz should be the one with two subdials and not that oversized automatic monstrosity. I guess technically Seiko's at fault for the third one. But then my intro wouldn't have been as cool. If this is your first time watching the Dapper Wrist, my name is Jay, with the only channel on YouTube primarily featuring the best and affordable dress watches better suited for the smaller wristed. With social media and YouTube watch reviews trying their hardest to influence us all, it's a miracle I was able to purchase this watch in such an organic way. Ironically, these very same forums are the reasons why I had such virgin eyes to this watch, the Seiko Prospex SSC815. Allow me to explain. Unfortunately, we still live in a world where most watches are 40 millimeters and up. And when it comes to sport and dive watches in particular, typically they're 42 and up. So when YouTube was flooded with content regarding the black and white Panda speed timer last year, late 2021, I ignored dealer ring thumbnails because I assumed the chronograph would be too big for my thin wrist. No way was this sport watch going to consider my 6 1/4 inch wrist. But I was wrong. With a case width of 39.2 millimeters and a lug-to-lug length of 45.5, this watch isn't too big for my boyish thin wrist. And even though its true length is at 50 millimeters due to its male end links, because they heavily curve down, the watch remains compact. But don't let its smaller size fool you. This watch is a tank. Sized up for my wrist, the watch weighs in at 143 grams, and its weight immediately inspires confidence. How could it not? It features solid links, solid end links, and half a milled clasp. See, I can't seem to tell if this double button deploying clasp cover is milled or pressed. Walking into my local watch dealer last December, I had no intentions on buying a watch, much less spend over $500 on one. But I was quickly won over by its solid build and killer good looks. It wasn't until the purchase was finalized that the seller informed me about the Panda version being the first to sell out, and the black one following closely. Only this blue dial and a beige dial remained. And that got the old hamster wheel in my head turning. This is the watch YouTube was going nuts over. This is the watch some called Daytona. But there ain't nothing Daytona about this watch. Not the case, not the pushers, not even the subdials. Yes, both watches have 3. But the speed timer has a smaller one at the 6 o'clock. And they're all solid. Whereas the Rolly has 3 equal-sized ringed subdials. But if you're still not convinced, go check out Pete from Chilling with Watches. His point-by-point comparison is second to none. It made me think that the Daytona nickname was nothing more than lazy clickbait tactics. But don't get it twisted. I get why the Panda version is so hot. It is a good-looking watch. But the pop of color from the blue dial with these red accents take the watch to the next level. That and its black bezel give the watch a sportier appeal that the Panda version can't come close to. Moreover, the purple hue found on the subdials of all 4 versions clashes way less on this blue textured dial. It's the better looking watch. Now, would I be singing a different tune had they not sold out of the Panda dial? Maybe. But I'm sure glad they didn't sell out of this one. The rectangular applied hour markers are fully polished with an inward light-catching bevel. All printing around the subdials is in white. The minute hashes portering the main dial is in silver. So too is the F and E for the power gauge. The Prospex X above the pinion is also in silver. But the biggest applied Seiko logo I've seen on a dial isn't polished. It appears to be gray, or a matted version of the silver printing. The brushed sword hands have black handles, and the second chrono counter in red has a long tipped arrow. Admittedly, I'm not the biggest fan of chronographs. For one, I never used the function. Additionally, I seem to find that most chronographs have the subdials too crowded close to each other. But not the speed timer. The spacing is on point. But that's not to say it can't be improved on. As mentioned in the intro, this watch should only have 2 subdials. Not only do I find the 24-hour night and day subdial at the 3 o'clock useless, it renders the 6 o'clock minute chrono tracker unreadable. It's just too small. It's difficult to see. What good is tracking elapsed time when you can't even read it? But that's not the only gripe I got with this watch. The date window clutters the dial, and again, a bit hard to read. Because this watch is solar powered, the solar panels need to be up on top. This in effect pushes the date wheel further into the case, making it hard to see. Seiko, you need to holler at me, because this shit is just too obvious. As crude as my illustration may be, it makes my point. The watch is less busy, more user-friendly, but no less captivating. It's a cleaner dial, making for a better-looking wristwatch. But I'm still not done with my gripes. And this next con can be classified as a half negative, because depending on the size of your wrist, this might not be an issue at all. The pin and collar bracelet only has 2 micro adjust holes with no half links. This in effect means that this watch is either going to be too loose or too tight for my 6 1/4 inch wrist. Furthermore, its president-like links aren't the best match for the vintage die style case. And although this bracelet is a bit too heavy for my taste, if it had 4 micro adjust holes, its weight I would gladly put up with. The watch has 100 meters of water resistance with a pull-push hacking crown. The finishing on the case, both the circular brushing on the front and its polished sides, are consistent and look good. The movement inside is the solar-powered V192 Quartz with an accuracy of plus or minus 15 seconds a month. No hard licks crystal on this watch. The single dome sapphire protrudes just a bit off that tachymeter bezel, making the watch 13.5 millimeters tall. The start and stop pusher up on top is the softer of the two, making the reset tactilely more enjoyable. And last but not least, the 20 millimeter lug width means we can begin with the strap parade. As you guys know, I don't do no editing. So you're gonna have to put up with this nonsense here. But I practice every day. Every day I'm out here practicing. You know, I care about y'all. Not enough to edit, but enough not to make y'all wait too long. Damn, I wish this one had a see? I can't even think and remove these links at the same time. My multitasking skills are none. Drilled holes on the lugs, you know what I'm saying? That'd make this a lot more easier on me. Come on, Seiko. Give me a hand here. But that wasn't too bad, y'all. Check that out. This strap came off of my MK1 Timex field watch, a gift from a good friend. Most of my watches don't retain their original bracelet or strap. I tend to find better pairings. And this one's not that bad. I like it. If you like this watch and you like this look, buy yourself the MK1 Timex field watch. And you got another look for your speed timer. The cool thing about the Timex, check it out. So it's easier to remove and replace. Next on the list, actually last too, is I only got these two options here. I got more, but these are the best ones I like. It's gonna be a single pass nylon. Actually, originally it was a double pass, but I got that hack where you just chop off the other one and it's a single pass. You know, it makes the watch less top heavy. Top heavy, is that correct? I don't think that's correct, but y'all know what I mean. This strap is from a Zulu diver. Check this out, y'all. Not bad, right? Oh man, I got my fingerprints all over it. I like that. Let's check it up on the wrist first, or second. I like switching up my straps. Look at that. Not bad, huh? That's pretty good. And it feels lighter, so much more lighter. It's starting to get hot up again. And this is the way I'm gonna be wearing it. I like this look a lot. Zulu Diver, y'all, from Dakota. I think I paid 29 bucks for it. Well worth it. It's not the softest nylon I got, but for this watch, it's the best looking. Even though I got all them gripes, and not to mention that this dial gets lost in low light settings, I don't like it any less. Its quality build and design is undeniable. It's an affordable sport watch that looks and feels the part. Paul Newman, stick to salad dressing, because this Seiko speed timer blows the doors off of your Daytona. And until the next Dapper Wrist video, hook up a like and a subscription. Not because my content is tight and you like my smooth delivery, but because I'm not out here trying to sell you an overpriced watch roll.